Hey everybody, I'm Josh and welcome to Season 8 of Just Sayin. Thank you. We are starting this season a little bit differently and we're going to try opening the show differently without an intro. So let's get on with the show. It's going to be really weird, and in the next couple weeks I'm going to be trying new ways to start the show, so hopefully I can get something figured out. If not, I'll go back to having an intro. And I'm also trying to, and I know I said this before, but then I started having the idea that I'm actually working on now. But I want to make a GIF for all of my segment intros instead of the actual videos. So I'm working on it. I don't want to premiere any until I have them all done. So just bear with me. And until then, you'll get the videos that I already have made. So without further ado, we are also changing up the way that we use our holidayinsights.com. And this is how we're going to do it. So when you go to the website, you click on the month, and then it'll tell you what the monthly holiday or observances are, the weekly holidays or observances, and then the daily. And so every week, I am going to do, as my monologue, jokes about a weekly holiday or observance, and my segments will be daily holidays or observances. And hopefully I'll work in some different segments, maybe come up with some new ones. Who knows? You never know with me, because I never know. I don't. Not gonna lie. So I hope you guys had a good break. My break actually, so I wrote, filmed, and I planned, wrote, and filmed all of season 7 in 27 days. And so I kind of had a long break, and then when I was posting episode 10 of last season, I was like, oh my gosh, I have 3 weeks until I have to post a show. So, my break was long, which I'm happy about because right now is a horrible time of the year for me. With my trigeminal neuralgia, I get really bad sinus infections and migraines almost daily. So who knows what'll happen, because I don't. So I'm glad I had that long, somewhat of a long break. But that's kind of how I'm wanting to do things, just so I can take my mind off of one more thing. So yeah. I don't know what else there is to talk about. Taser's still here. She's been a bad girl right now, so she's in her kennel. She's just being super obnoxious today. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the full moon. Who knows? But she's being obnoxious. Super obnoxious. So she's in her kennel. She'll probably at some point while I'm filming, because she knows I'm filming, come out and sit here sneakingly. So that way I can't yell at her to get back in there. So we'll see. If you see a little tail walk by, it's her. So as I started last season, before I do that, it's time to answer the age-old question, what am I drinking? Well, shocker! I know. I'm drinking Mountain Dew. PepsiCo. Just coupons. That's all I'm asking for. Save me a little bit of money, because that's literally all I drink. I hardly drink water. Apparently I don't know how to drink at all. Whatever. So, get that off the screen. I am going to start a new segment, or a new little sketch. I started doing these sketches during my openings, during this monologue segment. And I really kind of like doing it. So we're going to keep it going. Now here's what I'm doing. First of all, I'm trying a new layout for my intro, or for my opening. First of all, I'm not calling it a monologue anymore. I'm trying to start calling it an opening, which now that I hear it sounds wrong. So maybe I'll stick with monologue. But this part with my open to my host chat to my little sketch, I want this to be 10 minutes. And then my jokes will probably be 5 minutes after that. So that would give me about 15 minutes for an intro, for the first part. And then still 10-minute segments moving on. Right now, every time I've done this, I've gone over my time. As of this very second, I have 5 minutes to do this next sketch. So here we go. It's time for a new one that I'm calling Viewer Email. And if you have an email you'd like me to answer, email the show, shittalking20@gmail.com. I'll post it again at the end of the show, like I always do. But yeah, here we go. I only selected a few, and yes, these are real. I didn't make any of these up. These are actual emails that I got. Thank you for sending them in. Keep them coming. Here we go. Viewer email number 1. How old was I when I came out? It wasn't as accepted back in my day. I came out probably, I'm going to be 40 this year. I came out probably late 20s, early 30s. I mean, it was something always everybody knew, but it wasn't official. I remember telling my mom one time that I was bi, and the next morning woke up and told her that a miracle had happened and I'm not bi anymore. Well, I just didn't go the way she wanted me to. Anyway, so moving on. Before I open any more can of worms. Viewer email number 2, favorite thing about doing this show. It would have to be, and this is going to sound very cliche, but I would have to say doing the show is my favorite thing. Because, one, I started this during the height of the pandemic to keep myself busy and got to thinking about, you know what, well, maybe it'll keep other people's minds off of what's going on and give them 30 minutes to laugh and whatnot. So, I have always been the type of person that likes to make other people happy, always have been. Growing up, I would change my own birthday party plans to what somebody else wanted, even though I hated doing it, just so that I knew everybody would have a good time. But that's just me. And so I just like to make people smile, and if I can make one person smile, because let's be real, that's the only viewers I get. But if I can make one person smile every week, that's really what makes me do this show. Number 3, have I ever broken a bone? No, but I've gotten stitches about 7 times. My worst one was right here. I was washing dishes at my friend's house, and I had my hand in the glass, and it was hot water. Like I had just refilled the sink, so it was hot water, and it was freezing outside, and they had the window cracked, and so I pulled it up and kind of moved my finger so that I could not spin the cup, but spin the rag to wash it, and it just shattered in my hand. And I cut a nerve, and I can't feel this side of my finger, my pinky. Nobody knows that. Moving on. What is my favorite show to watch? I really don't have a favorite show. I go through blurts of what I like to watch. I don't know if that's a word. It can be now. But I go through little spells of what I like to watch. Sometimes I'll go vintage and watch like the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Sometimes I'll go back to my day and watch like the Fresh Prince. And I've been doing a lot of Hulu and Paramount Plus. So right now I'm in a kick of last week, a couple weeks ago, my kick was watching Seth Meyers on YouTube. And then now I've started a kick of watching Bar Rescue with John Taffer. Great show. You should check it out. It's on Paramount. Next question. Is there something I could totally nerd out over? Yes. I can nerd out over playing Lego. I can nerd out over... the biggest thing I like to nerd out over, and not a lot of people know this, is that I am a huge Power Ranger nerd. I'm not talking about the Super Steel Ninja Samurai Ranger. I'm talking the original Power Rangers. I would love to start collecting the stuff. I would love to... I mean, I watch them episodes religiously. I'll get in one of those kicks and watch them. I kind of stopped watching it when they became the Zeo Rangers because the whole storyline changed. And I didn't like the new movie that came out in 2017, I believe it was, which I guess is why they halted production on the rest of the films. They were going to make a total of 5 or 6 and then halted production. And last but not least, I have 24 seconds. Do I always sit because I'm not wearing pants? No. I sit because I'm a lazy bum. No, I sit just because I'm sitting at my desk and I hate standing. I have to have my hands busy, and sitting at a desk, I can move my arms around. And standing up, I don't know what to do with my hands. But I'm always wearing pants, okay? Anyway. So let's get on with the show. It's time to start another season with another cheesy monologue. As usual, I went to latenightLOL.com, and in the search bar, according to our friends at holidayinsights.com, our April is National Stress Awareness Month, and so while outdated, I went to the search bar and typed in stress, so while outdated, all the jokes will have something to do with stress. Hold on tight, here we go. A new study from Harvard says that you can reduce the risk of a potentially fatal heart condition by eating 6 bars of chocolate a week. Yeah, it reduces your chances of heart attack because once you're giving up being in shape, you're less stressed. Now that a lot of voters' stress has been caused by the bombshell FBI Director James Comey dropped on Friday when he said he was going to investigate more of emails on Hillary's private server, Trump's feeling so sure of himself that he actually asked early Hillary voters in Wisconsin to change their vote if they quote-unquote had buyer's remorse. Yeah, if anyone knows about buyer's remorse, it's the guy who gets married every few years. A Florida man is refusing to give up his emotional support squirrel, even though his condo association, no, you heard me right, squirrel. Even though his condo association is threatening to evict him. Of course, when you're going through something that is stressful as eviction, nothing helps more than a great embrace of a squirrel. I do love squirrels, though. I will break for squirrels. Not for rabbits, but I will break for squirrels. And there's a funny story behind it. Well, actually, it's kind of a cute story. So my parents' late dog, Shadow, she and the neighbor had a squirrel feeder on his tree. The squirrel and her literally would play together. Like, the squirrel would come halfway down, flick its tail, and Shadow would creep up next to it and then try and get it. And the squirrel, I mean, they would do this for literally 30 minutes, nonstop. And then the squirrel got hit by a car and was dead in the road. The dog went out, picked up the squirrel from the road, brought it back, even though she knew she wasn't supposed to go outside of the house, outside the yard, brought it back into the yard, laid it down, and then laid next to it. How can I hate squirrels after that? It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. Anyway, moving right along, here's the next joke. I heard that South Korea has stress cafes where people can go and take a break from their day, or as they're known here in the States, bars. A new survey from the Bank of America and USA Today found that 39% of millennials are chronically stressed because of money, and the other 61% are monetarily stressed because of chronic. A new study found that a growing number of dog owners are giving their pets anti-anxiety medication as a way to calm them down and reduce unwanted stress in their lives. Or as the dog says, just get rid of the vacuum. It's time for Season 8's first Joke of the Week. According to a new study, marijuana users are twice as likely to suffer from a heart condition known as stress cardiomyopathy, but they're 3 times less likely to care. According to a survey, the 3 most stressful cities to live in are Detroit, Los Angeles, and Cleveland. Why? The Lions, the Dodgers, and the Browns. A new study found that cleaning your house can actually increase stress. Yeah, but so can hiring someone to clean it for you. Just ask Maria Shriver. And finally, Joe Biden's wife, Jill, is having surgery today to relieve pain in her shoulder. Apparently, it's a repetitive stress injury from elbowing Joe every time he opens his mouth. So, as we begin our new season and our new way of doing things, April 16th is Pet Owners Independence Day. I don't want to be away from my dog. I don't know. Anyway, I thought it would be a cute, funny idea to look at some more pet shaming in this week's edition of Possibly Adorable. Here's the first one. I like to take used feminine products and hide them under owner's bed. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Here's the next one. And it took me a minute to figure out what it was, but it's a broken cell phone. It says, "My dad works too much. I took care of that. Can I go to the park now?" She ate his phone. How exciting. I hump other dogs' faces. Hey, animals can be just as kinky as humans. Here's the next one. I bark at pants. That's going to be on one of my It Gets My Goat because I hate the word pants. You don't put on a pair of pants. You put on one pant. Anyway, here's the next one. Oh, nope, that's the same one, Josh. There we go. I took 4 sticks of butter from a grocery bag, ate 2, smeared the 3rd into the couch, and 1 is still missing. At least it's not a sticky situation. Here's the next one, and he looks really sad. He pooped in the car today. Sad day. I love it when dogs know that they've been bad. Like my dog, I'll come home from work and there'll be a big pile of poop on the floor and she'll just be laying in my bed going, like she knew she did it and she's proud of it. Like this dog who took a bite out of every tortilla. Maybe this one will taste better. Maybe this one will taste better. No, they are all just plain. It's what you put in them that makes them good. Here's the next one. It doesn't say what they did, but I think you can tell what they did. It just says that, hey, it was teamwork. Wouldn't it be bad if they were both being punished and it was really only one of them? Like when I was a kid, we'd all get punished for what my sister did. Because every time she tells you a story from when we were growing up, she goes, it was either me and you or me and you. But I know I was there. Because she was in the center of everything. Here's the next one. I peed on mommy's foot when I didn't get my treat fast enough. I'm not even sorry. That is a gorgeous dog. I think it's a husky. I love huskies. I went to NIU, Northern Illinois University, because they're the huskies. I want to get a Pomsky, though. If you haven't heard of it, it's a Pomeranian Husky mix. Look it up. Google it. It's Pomsky, Pomsky. They're adorable. I want one. But they're like millions of dollars. Okay, thousands of dollars. But here's the last one. I ate a hairball. The cat threw up. Sweet. That was the treat the other dog missed. I thought it would be funny in my head, and then I started to say it and realized it wasn't going to be funny. So we're just going to move on to the next segment. On April 19th is going to be Hanging Out Day. And back when I had friends, because I don't anymore, one thing we would do in order to hang out was go to the mall. And we'd kind of window shop. And so I thought, you know what? Let's bring back the segment and do it how I originally made it. We're going to take a look at some horrible online products in this week's edition of The Marketplace. I don't know what's happening with my computer right now. There we go. Okay. Here's the first one. Selling a bottle of Aunt Jemima for $150, discontinued and will be worth more as time goes along. Cheap price if you're willing to sit on it. It's literally a bottle of Aunt Jemima syrup. And because they took away the Aunt Jemima from the bottle, They were trying to sell it for $150. This one is really cruel. It doesn't say how much it is, but it's supposed to be a toy. And it's called The Absent Father. The funny thing is, well, there's really nothing funny about it. But the funny thing about this is, there's nothing in the package. So it's literally an absent father. Now, this next one, I have no idea what it is. I have no idea who would purchase it to begin with, or who would come up with making something like this. But if you're interested, it's only $385 for a pink fuzzy mohair extreme catsuit sweater, thick pants, socks, I can't see that last word, and something mittens. Really? And it's made out of real cat hair. $385. Now this one just looks funny. But it's a hybrid. It was like in a bag of gummy bear and gummy worm mix. And it just looks weird. So they tried to sell it for $10. Here's the next one. They want to see actually how much $1 is worth. Literally. I think this is the one that shocks me. No, this is the one that freaks me out. I don't know what it is. And maybe I'm the only one. Porcelain dolls creep the hell out of me. I will have nightmares after this segment because I'm going to show you a couple. But the first one that I'm going to show you right now, my grandmother, I don't remember what its name was, but my grandmother had something that looks just like this, and it's really creepy, and it freaked me out every time I went over to her house, to the point where they had to start getting it out of the room because I wouldn't go in the room it was in. It's a haunted doll, Mr. Clappy. Oh my gosh, no. Like, first of all, I wouldn't buy it because it was haunted. Second of all, I wouldn't buy it because it's a creepy-ass clown. Here's the next one. And this one is what really gets me. You know how normally I show you, people think it's smart or a great idea to find a weird chip in their bag of chips. I wish I had a bag of Doritos here. Because if someone could do this with a Dorito, a normal Dorito, I would like to do it. For $1,209 for a weird Dorito, because it looks like a Pope's hat, and notice it says winning bid. Someone actually spent $1,209 on something like that. Open any bag of Doritos. You'll get hundreds of them. Good Lord. I might get these myself. It is the world's best slippers. Love them. Love them. Maybe that's why I'm still single. Here's the next one. I don't know what would entice someone to do this. However, it's a Filipino tanned leathered frog shoulder purse. It's a literal frog. A frog. It's an actual frog. I never took biology because I knew we'd have to cut one open. Alright. Now this is my porcelain doll fear, and now I'm going to have nightmares for a week. It's just creepy. It's a haunted, vintage, antique, evil, active, possessed witch demon doll. No thank you. I'm good. And for our last segment on April 23rd, it is Take a Chance Day. And like I said, if it wasn't for those special kind of people, we wouldn't need these stupid warning labels in this week's edition of Warning, There's a Warning. Here's the first one, and I checked. This is a common product, and I checked on a can my dad has, and it's actually on there. Warning, and it's on a container of Fix-A-Flat. You know that stuff that you put in your tire and then air up your tire, and it's supposed to like go around the edges of the tire and seal things, seal holes or whatever. It's called Fix-A-Flat. And it literally says on the can, warning, not to be used for breast augmentation. Who would think? Who? And you, again, know that they wouldn't have put that label on it if someone hadn't done it. It's the wrong kind of people. Making the world a stupid place. Well, here's the next one. And it's not so much that it's a suffocation risk, but who would put their child in a tote container? Who? Well, time to put you away for the season. No. I understand kids would be able to crawl in them, but they're not going to have the lid. I swear we live on a planet of stupidity. Here's the next one on a container for a new Adobe Photoshop computer program. Says, warning, newer versions will not improve skill. Really? A newer version of the thing does not make you smarter. Really? But you know somebody called that company and said, hey, still don't know what I'm doing, and I upgraded. Well, your first mistake was calling us. On a container of Viagra, it says, not for newborns. Back in those days, it's not intentional. They don't know what's going on. I still don't know what's going on. My dad and I still need to talk. Kidding. Maybe I'm just doing it all wrong. Here's the next one. I don't know what it's for. It looks like a bag. Machine wash, gentle cold. Use gentle detergent. No bleach. Line dry. No iron. Do not dry clean. Do not wear for sumo wrestling. What? They use toilet paper. Why would anyone think, hey, let's wear this for sumo wrestling? Oh, I did skip one. All right, here's the next one. And I'm not talking in this one about what it says. However, I will say that it is a new toilet. I think it's a new toilet. I don't know. But there's actually a diagram of how not to sit on that toilet. Really? If you don't know how to go potty on the big boy potty, you're not a big boy. Hercules, Hercules. You remember that movie? Name that movie. Oh, time's up. Sorry. It was Nutty Professor. Here's the next one. I kind of wish more streets had signs like this because it annoys the ever-loving... It annoys the piss out of me when people walk across the street and they're like, get halfway across and they're like, oh no, the cars are coming. Really? You didn't see them coming? But if we had signs that said this, maybe it would stop. Caution, cross only when cars stop. That would require, though, people to follow direction. And that's another issue altogether. Here's the next one. Again, who knew that water gets on the road during rain? Who knew? I thought a big umbrella popped out and it kept all of the roads dry. Now this one isn't so much a warning label. In fact, it's not a warning label. It's just really funny. And it took me a minute. It really took me a minute to figure out what is wrong with these elevator buttons. So I'm going to let you look at it for a few seconds, and then I'm going to tell you what it is. It says ground floor, floor 1, floor 2, floor 2.5. Does it really take you in between 2 floors? Is that like where Batman's lair is? Do you need a special key to get into it? Now, I think I showed you this next one already a long time ago, but I came across it again, and it's still really funny. I love that they're trying to tell people how to properly lift, and that something is heavy, but their picture doesn't look right. And if you can lift your boxes like this, I want to meet you. Well, that will do it for the show this week, and for the start of season 8 is officially underway. If you think there's something funny I should see and share on the show, be sure to send it to me. There's the show email. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok for behind-the-scenes looks, my Taser Versus videos, and exclusive TikTok contests. So, also, while you're sitting there and have a second, maybe picking your nose, I don't know, stop doing that, wash your hands, and then like, subscribe, and get the notifications anytime I post a new video. Also, comment below. Let me know what you guys think about my opening, or what I should do to do my opening. So, until next week, be sure to have a great week. Be safe. Love each other. And until next week, that's all I'm saying.